Have you ever stopped in your tracks and wondered how many good years you've got left once you cross that 70-year mark? It's a question that sneaks up on you. Each candle on the cake starts to feel like a countdown, doesn't it? Time suddenly feels like it's slipping through your fingers, and you can't help but ask, how long do I really have? But here's the twist. Your body's already dropping hints, little whispers of truth about how long you might keep dancing through life. Some folks at 70 are still charging ahead, strong, clear-headed, full of fire, while others feel the slow creep of time, weighed down by aches, exhaustion, or a dimming spark. What separates them? It's not magic or a roll of the dice. It's science, pure and simple. In this video, we're unpacking 8 scientifically proven signs that can predict how long you'll live after 70, signals straight from the labs of researchers and doctors who've studied the elderly for decades. These aren't hunches or folklore. They're hard facts backed by studies that peek into your future. Stay with us until the end, because you're about to discover not just what these signs mean, but how you can tweak them to stack the odds in your favor. You might be overlooking tiny clues right now that could unlock years, maybe even decades, of vibrant living. Curious where you stand? Let's find out together. And trust me, you won't want to miss a second of this. Before we jump in, if this sparks something in you, please hit that like button. It helps me share these life-changing insights with more people. If you're new here, smash subscribe and turn on the bell so you never miss a beat. And if you're ready to dive into this, drop a 1 in the comments. I'd love to know you're along for the ride. Now let's get started. Ever pictured yourself at 73, strolling down the street with a steady clip, breeze in your hair, no rush or stumble? Your walking speed isn't just how you get around. It's a crystal ball for your lifespan, and science backs it up big time. Research, like a landmark study from the Journal of Gerontology, shows that folks over 70 who keep a brisk pace live longer than those who dawdle or drag. It's not about fancy tests or genes. It's your legs talking, spilling secrets about your heart, lungs, and bones, giving you a live report on how your body's holding up. Take 2 pals, Bill and Stan, both 72. Bill's the guy who hits the park daily. Steady steps, head high, no panting, cutting through the morning mist like he owns it. Stan used to keep up, but now he shuffles, stops every few yards, leans on railings, his breath a little ragged. I've seen this up close with my neighbor, Mr. Hank, 74. He walks like he's late for a date, quick, smooth, alive. Keeps the rust off, he'd grin, and his doc agrees. His ticker's strong, his balance spot on, his blood pressure steady as a rock. I asked him once why he pushes it, and he laughed. Sittings for statues. I'm no statue yet. Stan's slow crawl, though. It's a quiet SOS, maybe weak muscles, a sluggish heart, or joints crying for help, a sign that time's starting to nibble away. Why's this a big deal? Walking speed's a full-body check-in. Your cardiovascular system, your muscle strength, even your brain's coordination all rolled into one. Slow down too much, and it's not just age. It's a signal something's off, a whisper that could turn into a shout if you don't listen. I've thought about this a lot, how something so simple, something we do every day without a second thought, could hold such weight. But here's the gold. I started pacing with Hank last spring, huffing at first, me, 40 years younger. Step lively, he'd nudge, and I'd grit my teeth, determined not to let a 74-year-old show me up. Now I'm hooked. Stronger legs, clearer head, a little bounce I didn't have before. If your steps are lagging, don't brush it off like it's nothing. Start small, 10 minutes around the yard, pick up the tempo, maybe toss in some squats or a brisk loop around the block. Your pace isn't fate, it's a lever you can pull, a dial you can turn up with a little grit. Comment 1 if you're still strutting like Bill. I'm in your corner, cheering you on. Ever gripped a doorknob at 71 and twisted it open like it's nothing? Or shaken hands with a firmness that surprises someone half your age? Your grip strength's no small thing. It's a longevity loudspeakers, blaring clues about how many years you've got left. Studies from the British medical journal peg it as a top predictor. A strong grip after 70 ties to more years, while a weak one waves a caution flag. Frailty, health dips, a shorter road ahead. Meet Jack and Earl, both 75. Jack's the guy who lugs groceries up 3 flights, cracks jars open with a flick, his hands shake a bear trap that makes you wince a little. Earl's grip's faded. He fumbles with bags, shrugs off weak hands as old age, his fingers trembling when he tries to hold a heavy mug. I saw this with my dad, 73. He used to hoist me as a kid, hands like iron from years of fixing cars and hauling tools. Last year I noticed his grip softened, jars stayed shut, and he'd hand them to me with a sheepish grin. Getting old, he'd sigh, but then he tired faster, stumbled more, and I started wondering if it was more than just age. Jack's grip shouts stamina, a body still ready to fight. Earl's whispers decline, a quiet fade creeping in. Your hands aren't just tools. They're your body's echo, reflecting muscle mass, nerve health, even your heart's hustle. Weak grip means weak everything. Less strength to fend off falls, illness, decline, like a domino tipping the rest. But don't despair. I got Dad a grip trainer after that, a little rubber thing he called a silly toy. Waste of time, he grumbled, but I'd catch him squeezing it during TV ads. Now, he's back to opening pickles, smirking, not dead yet, and I swear there's a spark back in his eye. It's not rocket science. Try it yourself. Grab a tennis ball, squeeze it 20 times a day, or lift light weights, feel the power creep back. If your grip's slipping, don't ignore it. It's a wake-up call you can answer, a chance to hold on tighter to life itself. Comment 2 if you've still got that Jack grip. I'm shaking your hand in spirit, feeling the squeeze. Ever balanced on one foot at 70, steady as a lighthouse in a storm, while others sway like reeds in the wind? Your ability to hold that pose isn't just a fun trick to show the grandkids. It's a longevity litmus test, and science has the receipts. Research from the American Geriatric Society says folks over 70 who can stand one leg for 10 seconds or more outlive those who topple fast. Wobble too much? It's a warning. Falls, brain fade, trouble ahead, lurking closer than you might think. Picture Mary and June, both 71. Mary's a walker, daily treks through the neighborhood, a little yoga on the side, lifts one leg like it's nothing, holding it for 10, 20 seconds without a flicker. June tries, teeters instantly, grabs the wall, chuckles, oops, clumsy me. I lived this with my Aunt Peg, 70. She used to hop around with us kids, sure-footed as a cat, chasing us through the yard with a laugh. Then she slowed. Stumbles crept in. She'd brush walls for support, her steps hesitant. Clumsy, she'd say, brushing it off, until a fall landed her in bed for weeks, her hip bruised and her spirit dented. Mary's balance sings health, a body and brain in tune. June's hums a risk tune, a quiet note of caution. Why's balance a big deal? It's your body's symphony, legs pumping strength, brain firing signals, nerves keeping the beat. Lose it, and the elderly's grim foe, falls, lurks closer, ready to strike when you least expect it. Falls aren't just bruises, they're the thief that steals independence, confidence, sometimes years. I started balancing after Peg's scare, 5 seconds by the sink while brushing my teeth, wobbly as a newborn foal at first. This is dumb, I muttered, but I stuck with it. Now I'm at 20, steady as a rock. You can too. Stand while brushing, walk heel to toe like a tightrope artist, maybe dip into Tai Chi for a slow, graceful boost. If you're shaky, don't wait for a tumble. Steady up, take control. Comment 3 if you're standing tall like Mary. I'm clapping for you, amazed at your poise. Imagine hitting the pillow at 72, drifting into 7 hours of deep, dream-filled rest, waking like you've hit a cosmic reset button. Your sleep's not just downtime, it's a longevity compass, pointing straight at how many years you've got left. The National Sleep Foundation ties quality sleep after 70 to more years. Poor sleep flags, memory slips, heart woes, a fading edge that's hard to claw back. Think of Fred and Walt, both 74. Fred's got a rhythm. Bed at 10, up at 6, fresh as dawn, eyes bright and mind clicking. Walt's a wreck, tossing all night, waking every hour, bleary-eyed and dragging through the day. My grandma, 76, used to sleep like a rock, a farmer's wife who'd crash after dusk and rise with the sun. Then grief hit after Grandpa passed. Nights fractured, days turned foggy. "Can't rest," she'd mutter, and I saw her dim, less chatty, more withdrawn, her spark flickering. Fred's sleep fuels him, keeps him sharp and steady. Waltz drains him dry, pulling him down bit by bit. Sleep's your body's healer, fixing cells, flushing brain junk like a nightly detox, arming your immunity for the fight. Bad sleep's a thief, stealing sharpness, strength, even joy, leaving you running on fumes. I've felt it myself, late nights scrolling, waking groggy, useless. After Grandma's slump, I cut late coffee, ditched my phone 30 minutes before bed. Dark now, sleep solid, and I wake ready. If you're restless, tweak it. Dim the lights, set a clock, skip screens, maybe sip chamomile. Your slumber's a predictor. Tune it up, listen to what it's saying. Comment 4 if you're resting deep like Fred. I'm dreaming with you, jealous of that peace. Ever savored a meal at 73? Fresh fish, crisp greens, a bite that zings through you, and felt alive, like every cell singing? Your eating habits after 70 scream volumes about your future, and science has the mic on this one. The Journal of Nutrition says a hearty, balanced appetite keeps you rolling strong. A fading one, or a junk food spiral, hints at trouble brewing under the surface. Consider Ann and Dot, both 72. Ann cooks every night, veggies steaming, lean meat sizzling, loves her plate piled high, holds her weight steady with a quiet pride. Dot's appetite's shrunk, skips breakfast, nibbles toast or a stale cookie, thins out without meaning to, her clothes hanging loose. My Uncle Bob, 71, used to pile his plate high, a big guy with a big laugh who'd dig into Mom's roast like it was a feast. Then stress hit after he retired. Food lost its appeal, he withered before my eyes. "Not hungry," he'd say, pushing away half-empty plates. But his energy crashed, his arms got thin, his steps slowed. Ann's eating keeps her sturdy, a fortress against time. Dot's flag's a fade, a body running low on fuel. Food's your fortress. Nutrients shield you, build muscle, fight disease, keep your engine humming. Appetite drop? Could be gut trouble, mood dips, brain shifts kicking in, or something deeper brewing. I got Bob eating small after that, broth with a little chicken, a handful of nuts, and he's perking up, cracking jokes again. "Guess I'll eat," he'd grunt, and I'd smile, seeing color creep back. If your hunger's waning, don't shrug it off like it's no big deal. Add color to your plate, sip water, see a doc if it's off. Your meals are your power. Feed the fire. Comment 5 if you're feasting hearty like Ann. I'm salivating just thinking about it. Ever faced a storm at 75? Bills piling up, health wobbles, chaos swirling, and surfed it with a calm nod, a steady breath? Your stress game after 70 isn't just grit, it's a lifespan gauge, and science is all over it. Studies from the American Psychological Association link low stress to longer life. High stress gnaws at your core, hits your heart, speeds up the clock in ways you can feel. Take Pete and Ray, both 73. Pete's cool as a cucumber. Car breaks down, he breathes deep, fixes it with a shrug, maybe cracks a joke about it later. Ray's a wreck. Every snag's a crisis, pacing the floor, sleepless, snappy as a cornered dog. My friend Sal, 70, lost his shop 2 years back. Tough blow, but he'd fish by the river, laugh it off. Worse things happen at sea. I'd watch him cast his line, steady as ever, and think, that's strength. Ray's stress chews him up, blood pressure spiking, nights ragged, a body wearing thin. Stress is a silent shredder, spiking cortisol, inflaming you inside out, weakening your defenses like rust on steel. I've felt it, deadlines piling, chest tight, sleep gone. Sal's calm rubbed off. I picked up his trick, 10 deep breaths when I'm frayed, slow and deliberate. Calmer now, clearer headed. If you're wound tight, strung out over little things, try it. Meditate for 5 minutes, stroll the block, let go of what you can't fix. Your chill's a clock ticker, a way to stretch the hours into years. Comment 6 if you're smooth like Pete. I need your zen desperately. Imagine a coffee chat at 71. Friends trading tales over steaming mugs, laughter bouncing off the walls like music. Your social ties after 70 are a longevity jackpot, a treasure chest science has cracked wide open. The Harvard study of adult development, one of the longest ever, says strong connections mean more years. Loneliness cuts them short, hitting your heart, mind, and soul with a quiet, ruthless punch. Ellen and Kay, both of 75. Ellen's got her gang, cards on Thursdays, family dinners, chatter that lights up her days. Kay's solo, friends faded over the years. She's quiet now, shrinking into her chair, her world small and still. My mom, 72, thrives on her book club, giggles over plot twists, debates about characters like they're real people. Keeps me kicking, she beams, pulling me into a hug every time she sees me. Ellen's web lifts her up, a safety net of love. Kay's unraveling, thread by thread, alone in a way that's hard to watch. Connection's your spark, easing stress, sharpening wits, releasing feel-good chemicals that keep you ticking. I crashed Mom's club once. Stories, laughs, a warmth I didn't expect, and now I'm hooked. A regular who can't stay away. If you're drifting, pulling back from the world, reach out, a call to an old pal, a group with your vibe, even a quick hey to a neighbor. It's not hard, but it's huge. Comment 7 if you're tight like Ellen. I'm joining you at the table, soaking in that glow. Ever powered through a day at 74? No naps, just go, 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 and felt unstoppable, like you could take on the world. Your energy after 70 is a blazing sign of life left, a neon billboard science can't ignore. The Journal of Aging Research ties steady stamina to longer, healthier years. Fatigue whispers decline, a slow fade you don't have to accept. Sam and Ted, 76. Sam's buzzing, yard work in the morning, errands by noon, full steam ahead, a whirlwind in plaid. Ted's spent, nods off by lunch, slumped in his recliner, drained before the day's half done. My Aunt Lil, 73, vacuums her whole house, dances to oldies in the kitchen. Still got juice, she crows, twirling a mop like a partner. I've seen her outpace me, on a hike, laughing, keep up, kid. Energy's your battery. Low means systems faltering, a warning light blinking red. I ditched soda after Lil's zip. Too much sugar sapped me. And now I feel alive, buzzing like her. If you're dragging, fading by midday, tweak it. Move more, eat cleaner, nap smart if you must, but don't settle. Energy's your pulse. Keep it pumping. Comment 8 if you're electric like Sam. I'm charged up just thinking about you. So what do these 8 signs, walking speed, grip strength, balance, sleep, appetite, stress, social ties, energy, tell us? They're not just science trivia, they're your roadmap, your playbook, your lifeline. You're not drifting through old age like a leaf on the wind. You're steering the ship, hands firm on the wheel. I've watched folks miss these cues, shuffling steps, lonely nights, tired eyes, and fade too soon. Shadows of who they were. But you can spot them, shift them, stretch your story into something epic. Start now. Stride faster, squeeze harder, connect deeper, rest better. Your years aren't locked in some cosmic vault. They're yours to shape, to stretch, to fill with fire. Reflect for a sec. Where are you shining? Where's the work? I've seen my dad pick up that grip trainer, my mom lean into her club, my uncle eat again, and it's working. Little wins stacking up. You've got that power too. Comment your number and your tale. What's solid? What's next for you? I'm reading every word, every story, because we're in this together. Like this video, subscribe if you haven't, hit that bell. Let's keep the spark alive. You're not just here, you're thriving, scientifically proven, and I'm damn proud to see it.